Shit. Well, what up? What up? What up? What up? Yes. What am I doing? Just about to give y'all a real lit live today. We doing the BMF episode 3 and 4 review. We doing that today. You dig? Okay. Now, the reason why we getting into 3 as well as 4 is because I was annoyed by how slow the season was getting off to, and what I felt like was a lot of the poor quality of the show. And I also got caught up watching One Piece, which is a better show than BMF. But today I caught up. I watched episode 3 and 4. So what we're going to do is first is we are going to start with episode 3. We're going to go over what happened with all the characters in episode 3. Okay, I'm going to give my opinion at the end, and then we're going to get into episode 4. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so look, thoughts on BMF episode 3. Okay, this is by far the best episode so far. This is what I was thinking, and this was before. Hey, my brother, this is the BMF. In case you didn't read the title, this is BMF episode 3 and 4 review and reaction live. Okay, because I'm probably the only person who makes these kind of videos in this lane that's going live. I'm probably one of the only ones. So like I said, let's get started with episode 3. So what I'm thinking by the end of this episode is this being episode 3 of BMF was the best episode so far. Okay. Now, off the rip, when you watch the beginning of BMF episode 3, you can already tell or assume, right, that 2 Chainz's character, Stacks, is up to no good, all right? When that scene happens and he didn't get shot, he didn't look like he got beat up at all, I already knew what it was, you know what I'm saying? Shotty up to something. Dude was definitely up to something, and you know what? We ended up finding that out by episode 4. So we're going to get into episode 4. Pace. What's up, my brother? Well, we're not about to get in episode 4, but we're going to continue talking about episode 3. So now, after that robbery, okay, immediately, it's not believable because 2 Chainz acting is not very well at all. I knew from 2 Chainz's character as Stacks first scene in episode 1 that he was going to try to F over Meech in some type of way, and he couldn't be trusted. I don't know if they wanted us to know from the beginning that 2 Chainz was going to cross Meech up. I don't know. Or was it that 2 Chainz acting was so bad that I had no choice but to know for sure who he was going to be? Okay, but anyways, moving on, you got Terry choosing to still be mixy with his women in episode 3 again. He just don't know what to do. He in his feelings about Markeisha. So he trying to go back to Lawanda. Markeisha trying to talk to him. She tried to throw him the box. He acting like he don't want it. He act like he's super involved with Lawanda, which is crazy because all it took was one situation and he was right back on Markeisha's body. And you know what I'm saying? But we're going to get to that, right? But Terry is being mixy. And my opinion while watching this at this point in the show was this would have been better for everybody if LaWanda would just let Terry have Markeisha. And if he kept LaWanda as his main woman due to, obviously, seniority, man. You know what I'm saying? LaWanda deserves to be the main, okay? Where Terry's messing up at is that Terry refuses to be a man. I don't understand. At this point, they're pretty much millionaires, all right? Why are you a millionaire and you're afraid to tell your woman, right? Whether she's pregnant with your woman or not, like, yo, listen, I got this other woman. Listen, y'all don't got to see each other. Y'all don't got to deal with each other, right? But this my other woman, period. You'll still be my main because she got another man's kids and you got my kids, okay? But, like, why couldn't Terry just be a man about it? You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that as a man who I used to lie to women, right? Because most of us men are, of course, lovers of many women, you know, but there's only a few of us who are man enough to admit it. And I used to be one of those men who are afraid to admit it. And I used to lie. It just makes your life more complicated. Men don't understand that when you tell the truth and you give them a choice, okay, you'll find out that the women rather share the alpha, share that one alpha, right? Then deal with a beta who's going to deal with them and only them. But, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep going, right? Right? Terry could have made it work if he wasn't a tender. And he's a tender. But later on, right, in episode 4, which we're going to get to, I realized that Terry is not a tender no more. But we're going to keep going, right? Next, episode 3, we had Lucille and Charles, okay? Both Lucille and Charles had good dramatic scenes in episode 3, okay? But I want to talk about something that I really didn't like, and there's this undertone. And it's becoming less and less of an undertone and more of an overtone when it comes to women and the messages that they have women portray in these movies and in these shows, okay? And there's this anti-man, anti-family kind of thing that they project. I have a huge problem with the scene of Lucille and her church-going friend, whose name I forgot, right? Where, and I'm just going to say all my notes on this, right? I didn't like the advice Lucille's friend gave her, especially being church folk, all right? That 3 to 6 line was terrible, okay? That line where she said, and she got to be a 40-something, 50-something-year-old woman, right? In that scene, she talking about she want the 3 6s, 6 feet, 6 figures, 6-pack, this, that, and the third, all right? Listen, the 3 to 6 line's terrible and wasn't even a term used by black women in the early 90s, and that's where this show is taking place, all right? That's bad writing and bad messaging to women, okay? They had a church woman tell another church-going woman, right? Middle-aged, right? Going through a rough patch with a man, 3 kids, right? Tell her, right, that she should telling a church-going middle-aged woman and still married woman to go and get some eggplant. Her friend told her to go and get her buns blown off. Don't try to work it out with your man. Go ahead and get your buns blown off. Go ahead and chase this fantasy, right? This fantasy, right? Instead of suggesting she work things out with her husband, who only cheated once. Once. He cheated one time with one woman, bro. One woman, bro. What up, DeMarcus? How you, man? We going over BMF episode 3 and 4, right? Right? And here's the thing, right? The number one reason she should go sleep with Maurice is because he got money, basically. They's talking about money when it comes to why Maurice is this, why Maurice is that, just because it's money. Like, what is it with this messaging to women, especially black women, where there's just this undertone of F that man, date around, leave your marriage, if you go through a rough patch with your man, like, leave your man if he not making enough money. Like, okay, cool. There's a fair argument for both sides. But this is also your man who, no matter what, he had you and your family in the house. So we talking about Maurice. You trying to, right? And we all know she gonna sleep with Maurice eventually. She ain't did it as of episode 4. But we know it's coming. We know it's coming, man. We know it's coming, dog. We know it's coming, dog. The last episode was the 304 episode. Yeah, I know. But I'm talking about 3. We're gonna get to 4 in a sec. But I'm catching up on 3, right? Because I ain't give her a 3. Okay, so now let's talk about in episode 3 what we missed with Brian, okay? The scenes with Brian was cool. It was cool how he saved your life. It's weird how he blames BMF for what happened to his son when it's all his fault. Really. It's all his fault. Like, come on, have some self-accountability, bro. Right? And they may be foreshadowing, right? Jin's partner's overdose, okay? They may be foreshadowing it. I got more thoughts on them that I'm going to rely on in a couple minutes when we get into my review of episode 4, right? But as we close the review for episode 3, let me give y'all my thoughts on Henrietta, right? On episode 3, okay? Henrietta, for this being her second episode, she's already damn annoying. Already annoying. Already overacting. The writers have her acting too much like a top dog in a man's world that it's not even believable at this point, yo. It's not even believable. It's not even believable at all, man. And by the way, this is why I don't like her character, right? And I feel like they're doing too much to make her seem too tough and gangster, and they didn't do it the right way, okay? Because by the way, she literally forced a woman to give her cousin the top, right? Because he was getting high and he was sad because their other cousin got killed, right? Right? By Bryant, which she don't know. Maybe she won't never find out, right? But here's the thing, right? She literally forced a woman at knife point to give the top to a grown man, okay? This is forced grape. Remove the G, you know what I'm talking about, right? Right? Mystical did 6 years in prison, and his career never bounced back for what Henrietta did, okay? That was a crazy scene. That was a crazy scene that we did not have to see. It was just done in poor taste, all right? And if she was a male character, that scene would not have made it to the screen at all, okay? They are writing it the wrong way, and she is currently very, very, very dislikable, okay? Right? The new Glock character is way better. He's way, 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 way more better. Way more better. Now, as we get to the end of this, right, I want to talk about also everything that happened with Meech in episode 3, because I have even more complaints now. Henry character is worse than Claudia and Force. Yes, I like Claudia's character in Force though. I like Claudia's character, and we go on a whole new tangent about that because I feel like she gonna come back, right? And she's gonna be a serious problem. A serious problem, right? But let's talk about my thoughts on Meech from episode 3 before we get into episode 4, right? Another episode, another fight, Meech wins, making this show suck because Meech don't ever take a real loss where we can sit there and deal with it. Every one of his problems, right, get solved in the quickest way possible within the same episode. And in real life, if this happened, it's incredible. Cool. But on the screens, okay? On the screens, it's boring. It's boring, bro, because we already know how it's going to turn out, okay? And here's another thing, right? Meech saving the girl from Greenie, corny, trash, okay? What are y'all doing, 50? What are y'all doing, the producers and showrunners of BMF? You have officially turned the end of this episode into a Tyler Perry movie, damn it. This is a Tyler Perry movie. Y'all know the tropes in the Tyler Perry movie, right? The dark-skinned guy treating a woman wrong, violating a woman, then here comes the light-skinned dude, right? Kicking ass, saving a woman. Trash. We've seen it time and time and time again. I thought this was BMF. I didn't know this was Diary of a Bad Black Woman. I didn't know, okay? But I will say, Neo's acting as Greenie is growing on me, man. It definitely is green. But let me tell y'all something that I personally don't like dealing with that scene as well, all right? I personally do not support saving women of the streets and women of the night at all, okay? Why? Because they are for recreational use only, okay? Meech is wilding. If Meech was really moving like this, Meech was a simpleton. Emphasis on the first four letters in that word, okay? For the sake of YouTube, right? Because they don't like when you say that word, all right? He worse than Terry. He worse than Terry, man. At least Terry doing this for a married woman. He doing this for a lady of the night, a woman who gets naked and freaky every night, all right? Okay? She belongs to the game, okay? Let me tell y'all the truth about the kind of women like Angel and BMF and why I don't like this scene, okay? She belongs to the game. It looks cute on screen, but they take out all the extra things all women like Angel would be involved in that life, okay? That includes selling box to multiple men a day. Any woman that sells box and she's legit about it, multiple men a day. We talking about like 2 to 10, 2 to 10, all right? And if she got a P in charge of, you know what I'm saying? She working even harder for the money, all right? But that also includes, right? Robbing dudes, doing drugs, right? All type of nefarious activity that these type of women do, right? That's the same woman who kissed Meech on the cheek and cuddled up with him, okay? That's not player at all. Meech is a bigger tender than Terry, y'all. Bigger tender than Terry, y'all. At least Markeisha was married to another man. She wasn't sleeping around, dry humping men every day, okay? The Flannery brothers are both tenders. This is what I'm thinking at this point in episode 3. Now, my opinion is going to change a little bit, right? Going in episode 4. But like I'm saying at this point, both the Flannery brothers are simpletons. One just looks better at it. Real talk, bro. Real talk. Man. Greenie calling Angel and Meech light bright. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Duffy should have unalived Greenie when he shanked. Yeah, exactly, right? That's what should have happened. But see, that would have happened if it wasn't BMF and the people who BMF is about are still alive, you see? Now, if this was like Power or something and it wasn't based on real lives, dude is gone. But at least we know Greenie gonna come back. I believe Greenie, he connected to them Haitians or something like that, right? So now look, let's talk about how Meech's acting is. Meech's acting is the best it can be, being that he's not a seasoned actor. It's often flat, but it's not terrible. And he does have promise, right? For somebody who you would never expect to be an actor, let alone leading a show, right? On a prominent network like Stars, right? Right? He definitely swindled his father in this episode and almost got his father killed, right? And I wanted to hate, but let's end this by talking about the Tupac scene, all right? Tupac is my favorite rapper of all time. I think he's the greatest of all time, okay? He's the greatest for the simple fact that he has a classic record for every kind of rap song that you can make, okay? We're talking about for the clubs, street anthems, conscious records, songs uplifting women, songs downgrading women, every kind, right? That was Pac, right? And the scene with Pac, I'm not mad at it. The guy even sounded kind of like Pac. I'm not mad at it at all. Not one bit. I'm not mad at it at all. You know what I'm saying? But I don't got too much more to say about that, man. I don't got too much, because now you expect me to say, like, are we supposed to believe that Meeks randomly ran into Tupac and smoked blunt with him and all that? Like, are we? It's interesting to see. If it happened in real life, that's cool, right? But without further ado, let's talk about episode 4, okay? This is fresh to me. I watched episode 4. I just finished watching episode 4 about 2.5, 3 hours ago, right? Before I blazed up and ate some good old KFC, right? Some good old bad food, all right? And I'm not gonna lie. The first thing I want to say about this episode is this show is so much better without Atlanta being involved in it at all. At least so far. Now, they got the guy who I believe was from The Wire. He's portraying the St. Louis dude. And what I know from BMF, there was a real dude who BMF ended up getting, who Beach ended up getting real cool with from St. Louis. So let's hope when they go to St. Louis, maybe they trying to do that at the beginning of season 4. But like I said, maybe they'll go there and it'll be better than Atlanta. But just nothing great came out of them going to Atlanta, man. Nothing great. They got Lil Baby in it. If you take away Lil Baby scene, it doesn't even matter. Like, we didn't need him. He needs to step his raps up anyway, right? But the show is way better without Atlanta in it. Let me give my thoughts on Meech throughout this episode first, all right? So it's like this, right? What happened with Meech is the plug don't like Terry. So Meech says, okay, I'm going to go to the D and I'm going to handle business since Terry can't do it. And the reason why is because Terry rubbed the plug the wrong way. We all know what he did. He was disrespectful. He didn't know who he was talking to. It is what it is. You can tell why Meech is who he is and T is who he is, right? Meech is the, what's the word I'm looking for? He's the extrovert. So he's the person who he want to move around. He want to shake hands and kiss babies. Terry is the more introverted type. He want to be home. He don't like all the attention, right? Now, we're going to see throughout the episode just the dynamics of these guys, but they still bring it together at the end and make it about family. So they're saving the real split between the two, I guess, for next season. They're gradually building it up. At least they're not rushing that. I don't have a problem with it. I actually thought Meech would go to St. Louis with the 2,500 bricks and meet up with Jay. Yeah, something like that. Something like that I thought too. But now, let's talk about Meech falling for the floozy, the lady of the night, Angel. I understand Angel is super fine, super thick, you know what I'm saying? Turbo thick, but she's still a lady of the night. My opinion of that is, this is not player. He trying to turn pro into a housewife, okay? He trying to tell this girl right in the scene before he leaves his house to go to the D, stop selling your box, stop working for Greenie, just strip so you can help my business and be used by me, okay? I understand the business aspect of it, but look, cuffing. You kissed her in the mouth. Do you even want to know where this woman's mouth has been, okay? Her name is Angel, right? Right? But she ain't no angel. She ain't no angel, man. Meech acting very, very, very light-skinned in this episode. Super light-skinned. Super light-skinned, right? If it wasn't Meech, people will call this buffoonery exactly what it is, but because it's Meech, right? And because he's getting so much money and people like to glaze the show, they're going to act like there's nothing wrong with this. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy, all right? Later, Meech goes to the D to handle his business, all right? Next, later on for Meech, he meets his pilot and finds out that they've been given 2,500 bricks and not 250 like they thought, all right? So Meech is like, Dad, we got to rush to get this work out to make this money. We not going to make that much money off this, right? We end up finding out later why Meech is who he is. When he realizes, when he tells Terry, like, yeah, listen, we got our clientele up, though. After he comes up with the plan and just, you know what I'm saying, hand the work out, give people special deals and stuff, he tells Terry in the end, like, yo, listen, we got our ish together, though, right? We about to flood them. We got all this clientele. We got the best work. This was an investment in our future, right? It take money to make money, right? Right? Meech had called a meeting up of all their workers. And at the same time, Terry had to deal with the whole CPS thing, which I believe came from Henrietta. And I think we're going to find out that came from Henrietta, right? And this ties in with Markeisha, and I'm going to bring Markeisha into that later, right? But still, while we talking on Meech, okay, Meech also makes a deal with a driver in this episode while Brian is watching him, as Henrietta told him, trying to be a rat. After he chooses to be a criminal, he chooses to be a rat and tries to get Meech locked up. Meech devises a plan to have his pilot, which is white, by the way, talk to the police and say that Brian is harassing him, right? This leads to Brian's arrest. Now, here's the thing, right, for all you people who want to ride for the streets and everything, right? Doesn't this technically make Meech a snitch? Doesn't this make him a rat? Because clearly before the pilot did what he did, he said, I got an idea. And then he got on the phone. Does Big Meech get called a rat for snitching through someone else? It's dry snitching, but it's snitching. He told. I just wanted to say that. He definitely told, man. But let's get our thoughts about Terry going on for this episode, right? Right? Meech pops up in Detroit to handle business, right? Him and Terry have the usual type of convo. Me trying to tell him what's going on. T not having it. Terry is having issues internally, right? Accepting that his brother is the guy and not him, or rather that, even though he has his respect, it's Meech who is the guy, right? And Terry just wants to be his own man. You know what I'm saying? Little brother want to poke his chest out a little. You feel me? If Bryant knew Judge Darnell could have helped Bryant get Kevin out of jail. Yes, he could have, right? But after this, right, later on, Terry runs into Henrietta at a gambling event for high-class black folk. And Henrietta gets worse and worse and worse every episode, all right? Like, come on now. The wet the bed line, corny. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? I don't think a man wrote none of Henrietta's lines, because I think a man would have seen that line was like cringe. Unless they're making her cringe on purpose. But the way they uplift these strong female characters, I would like to think that they want you to take Henrietta serious. But what are the writers doing? Right? That entire dialogue throughout that scene was hilariously trash, all right? Hilariously trash, all right? Terry has the CPS meeting. They pull up. She violates, of course. Here's the thing about CPS, right? We seen CPS twice. We seen one in Raising Canaan, and we seen one in BMF. Why they gotta be Karen-looking white women? Can we get a black one next time we see a CPS character? Can we get a black one, right? So after the first meeting, right, where the CPS character pops up, Next, we got Markeisha choosing to help Terry, okay? And after Terry had the audacity, the gall, to accuse her of calling CPS on her, on Lawanda and him, she then helps Terry secure some help to have his situation taken care of with his child. Markeisha puts her neck on the line, okay? And after this point, I view Terry as he made the right choice by choosing to rock with Markeisha, all right? Okay? Being that she's older than him, she also played with more money and been in more realer situations than Lawanda. I can start to understand his appeal for Markeisha, okay? And I consider Terry to just be really in love with Markeisha and Markeisha to be in love with him. I do not consider Terry to be a tender from this point on in the show. And we all know that even till today, they still together, right? Markeisha telling Henry to get out of her face was hilarious. Henry could hurt Markeisha to get back on Terry. Yeah, I think Terry is gonna make sure. I don't think we're gonna see nothing else too bad happen to Markeisha as far as her receiving harm from someone else because it got to do with Terry. I think he's gonna play it smart, right? And here, let's talk about the family dinner, right? Where Terry chose to go handle his family business instead of going out with Markeisha. I wouldn't have been mad if after what Markeisha did for him, he said, all right, listen, I'm going to take my woman out. Or at least he stays for a shorter time at the family dinner so he could go, you know what I'm saying, deal with his woman to give her some time, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, he rich. He's going to make that time up to her anyway. That's cool, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. Ultimately, it would be a better choice to go handle your duty. So at no point would it have been okay for him to dub the family dinner in order to be with Markeisha. But ultimately, he made the best decision he could make. He made the best decision. Now, thoughts on the police characters in episode 4 of BMF, all right? My opinion is Brian is getting better every episode, the darker he gets, all right? His character is becoming very interesting, all right? He was such a villain, such a demon in Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I want to see him get to that level of petty, that level of disrespect. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see, man. And of course, he ends up getting locked up. Now, we've seen in either season 2 or 1, where in the future, Brian is around and he finally locks up Terry. So we can already know that Brian is going to be coming home. But the scene was cool. Okay. Okay. That's one of the better scenes of the show, of the season. All right. We're talking about Jen. Jen is not going to snitch on Brian. She's going to have a level of loyalty to Brian. Okay. She still cares about dude. She does. All right. Their scenes are becoming some of the best from the show. Then we got Emerson, which is Jen's new partner. All right. She's cute. She acts well or well enough, but she hasn't had that breakout moment yet. Right? Right? Her and Jen are slowly building up a case on Terry. And also, I think they're foreshadowing Shorty having an overdose on drugs. They already mentioned she used to do drugs, so we have to see where that's gonna go. In other words, cause snitch on Henry. True. Let's get to our thoughts on Lucille and Charles, okay? Charles will not give up, okay? He's pulling out all the works. He's pulling out all the stops, okay? All the stops. He working out, making sure Lucille see him. He's doing a lot, okay? He's trying to fix up the house. You can't be mad at the man for fighting for his marriage. You can't be mad at him. Even though up to this point, he has no idea about Maurice at all right? But he will not give up. All right. Lucille catches Nicole trying to get a box up, and Breeze is very disrespectful. In front of Lucille, he gonna tell Nicole, yo, hey, next time I'm gonna show you how to play a joystick, how to use a joystick in real life. What? What? Breeze is out of control. He's out of control. He's out of control, man. He's going crazy. And you know what? Both her and Lucille gonna get their buns blown off. It's gonna happen. It's on the way. It's on the way. Now, let's talk about Nicole's dinner scene. Okay, so Nicole goes full Diana Tejada on everyone, of course, right? Spewing all this stuff about my brothers are drug dealers and my brothers are womanizers. My father sleeps around. My mother wants to sleep with the doctor. She goes crazy. She goes crazy, basically pretty much saying everybody else is grown. Everybody else is having sex. Why can't I? That's pretty much what it's about. She turns up. If you ask me, Lucille should have gave her the hand of justice, right? I thought it was coming. I think it's still going to come, right? I think that Nicole is going to be next to Lucille next episode, and she's going to say something out of her mouth that Lucille is not going to take kindly to, and she's going to get her face slapped. It's going to happen, all right? But this leads to a good scene between Meech and Nicole towards the end of the episode that would have been better if Meech's acting didn't suck so bad, okay? There's only so much you can blame Meech. He's not been a lead actor for very long. This is his first leading role. But I needed to see a lot more emotion in his face. Like, this your little sister. Your little sister is poking the chest out, right? She took a training bra off. She got the Victoria's Secret bra on. Like, you worried about her. It might have, like, Terry might have did it better, man. Terry might have did it better, man, in this scene, man. But going back to Charles, right? Charles is fixing the house and he's doing good deeds to win Lucille over. And while I'm watching it, I'm just thinking, yo, you doing all this on your way out the house. You helped Meech get a house. You might as well have him get you another one, man. You might as well move to Atlanta, man. You know what I'm saying? And mess with the young tenders with the fresh water, man. Right? Right? Because come on now. Mind you, he ain't even flip out. He ain't even flip out when Nicole was like, yo, mommy want to make love to the doctor. All he did was go in the shower, come out the shower glistening. Right? And mind you, Lucille is going to sleep with Charles. I think she's going to end up sleeping with both of them. But she's going to sleep with Charles, and she might mess around and call Charles Maurice's name or something. Like, it's going to be crazy. But Maurice seemingly doesn't trust Charles, and neither do I, all right? This is real life. This is Detroit in the early 90s. Y'all not going to tell me that Lucille's knight in shining armor, her high school sweetheart, came back in a way better predicament than he was when they broke up, and now he just wants to be with her. I'm waiting for the reveal that he's abusive or he got AIDS or something. Like, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for this show to end up being like that Tyler Perry movie Temptation. I'm waiting for it. Right? And even after Nicole goes ballistic during this scene, Lucille uses God as an excuse to go meet up with Maurice and try to get the D. But it turns out she has good willpower. And I appreciate her so far not letting her harlot of a friend, her Jezebel of a friend, right, lead her to go against her marriage and sleep with another man while she's still currently married. I don't care if it takes 2 years to get the divorce done. Woman, you better wait. Better keep your legs closed or just let Charles hit. All right? Maurice waited 50 years. He can wait another 2. He can wait another damn 2. All right? Now, my opinion is The show's last 15 minutes are the best of the episode, all the way up to the reveal, or rather including the reveal that Stacks is a snake. Even though that's easy to tell that Stacks was a snake. That's easy to tell, okay? 2 Chainz acting is not good enough for me to think for 1 second that Stacks wasn't going to be who he is, right? And I got a feeling he's going to die anyway, right? This is, I guess, the best episode so far. Matter of fact, I'm going to say it is. And you want to know why this is the best episode so far? Because there was no Atlanta. There was no Atlanta. Okay? Oh, yeah. They jumped Greeny, blah, blah, blah. We know that. But the 4th episode was the best because there was no Atlanta, right? Henrietta is cool, but you got to understand, you see where Lamar as a character was so good that they didn't need too many bad guys. They got 25 bad guys this season because they can't replace Lamar. And they turned him to a fiend. See how that works, man? Final thoughts on Henrietta for this episode. We didn't get much of her, but she's overacting again, right? She had a good idea to have, you know what I mean, Brian watch Meech or whatever, but it didn't go very far, right? She just sucks. My grade for this episode in 3, mid to slightly above mid, bro. And that's it. Mid to slightly above mid, you know, it was cool, I guess. It was cool, I guess, man, you know. If you here now and you didn't catch the first half of this where I reviewed episode 3, go ahead and check out the review. Run this back to the beginning, y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to mess around and go live again before the week is over. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace. Oh, yeah. I plan on dropping another power video or 2 tomorrow, too. Peace.